Hey everyone, and welcome to my Edpuzzle for Station Rotations mini PD. I'm Stephanie DeMichael, Edpuzzle user and Edpuzzle evangelist. Let's do this. But first, do a mental check-in. Let's do a mental check-in with our mindset. On a scale of Schitt's Creek, how are you feeling today? As fierce as David? A little bit Alexis? As dramatic as Moira? Resilient like Johnny? If you've been called rude, but take that as a compliment, it's a sure bet you're Stevie today. Or are you goofy like Roland? Are you Jocelyn's level of happy and content? Maybe like Patrick, you're simply the best. Or are you feeling super duper nice like Ted? Whatever it is you're feeling, I'm glad you're here. I hope you find today's learning useful. And as for me, I guess I'm feeling a little Patrick because you're my Mariah Carey. Ah. Okay, enough about my favorite show in the whole wide world. Let's talk about whole class direct instruction, which is so 2000 late and definitely later in our post-pandemic phase of teaching and learning. Like I said, I'm Stephanie DeMichael. I've spent 15 years developing new ways to do old things and the last 7 years supporting teachers as they've shouldered that task too. And I'm a former Ohio girl living my best life in California, trying to lose my muscle memory of what it feels like to shovel snow. I'm also attempting to help educators create what I like to call teacher-bordered classrooms, ones where students look more like free-range chickens, exploring, moving, digging in the dirt, and just basically possessing the freedom to explore what's around them. And I also hope that teachers can look more like chicken farmers, gently guiding, observing, moving around the perimeter, giving students the freedom to learn at their own pace and path, but also ready to jump in when a little nurturing is needed. So, what I've been recommending to teachers looking to transform the way they do things is this: try the station rotation model. It allows students more flexibility, more autonomy, and a self paced approach to learning. Take this quick quiz to test your knowledge of the station rotation model. Is it a mix of online and offline learning? One where learning can happen everywhere and anywhere? Does it provide an increase in student control over the time, place, and path of learning? Or is it all of the above? And the answer is duh, all of the above. So thank you for taking the world's easiest quiz. You all get A's. So yes, a station rotation is the easiest way to get started creating your teacher-bordered classroom. Think of it like a smoothie, where instead of having these separate ingredients in your lesson plan, you've got this nice, healthy, balanced mix of online and offline activities, general learning for the whole class, but personalized learning for differentiation. Woohoo! And where both teachers and students contribute to what is learned and how it's learned. Yummy and delicious. Okay, so where does Edpuzzle fit into all of this? Okay, well, a standard station rotation model, and no, not that kind of model, Alexis. A true station rotation model, students move on a fixed schedule through a series of different activities at the following stations. There's the teacher-led station, where teachers work with small groups of students, going over homework, doing practice problems, dealing with misconceptions, or digging a little deeper to lead to greater understanding. There's the offline station, where students work collaboratively with their peers, learn from each other, teach each other, and work hands-on. And then there's the online station, where students dynamically interact with learning content. And that is where the Edpuzzle piece of the puzzle enters the picture. So remember the days when the teacher rolled this baby into the classroom? Okay, maybe you're not that old, I am. But to her, it meant an instructional opportunity. To you, it meant a nap opportunity. 25 kids, one teeny screen. What could go wrong? Well, here's what went wrong. The sleeping kids learned nothing. The daydreaming kids learned a little something, maybe. And the kids who really needed a boost, Never got it. Did true learning occur? Did every student get what they needed? Probably very unlikely, right, Jocelyn? Hey, she's a teacher. She should know. What if we took the best aspects of video instruction, which, by the way, is still a preferred method of instructional delivery for our Gen Z and Gen Alpha crowd? And what if we gave it a 21st century makeover? What if the sleepers and daydreamers stayed awake because they had the opportunity to interact with a video lesson? What if our special needs kiddos could rewatch parts of a video for reinforcement or greater understanding? What if you could give necessary feedback to your students at the touch of a button? What if you could deliver an assessment and get a quick snapshot of student learning and the whole class? What if you could turn any video into a lesson and ensure that students are actively watching? Edpuzzle brings all the pieces of the instructional puzzle together, and it makes learning accessible for all types of learners. So let's talk specific use right now. Edpuzzle is a perfect match for that online station in your rotation, kind of like Tinder. It just works. They match up. Online station and Edpuzzle. So if you're going to use it, you can use it like first as a hook to introduce a new concept like mitosis or Romeo and Juliet or how a bill becomes a law. You can deliver mini lessons to targeted students. So, for example, as a former English teacher, I hated having to waste precious instructional class time teaching the entire class to knock it off with the comma splices in their essays. Instead, I can now use Edpuzzle to deliver comma splice mini lessons to those kiddos who most needed it. And if you are tired of having to repeat yourself all day long, you can use Edpuzzle to record yourself, providing a tutorial about anything learned that day, like the area of a square. You can record directions for each of the stations, or better yet, you can let your students start creating academic tutorials for their peers. Think about how impactful this could be for students to do the teaching. Think about how impactful it could be for students needing remediation. Think about those absent students. How easy are you just making their lives now? And of course, you can build in quick formative assessments as learning pulse checks. Why stay up all night with a bottle of wine grading quizzes when Edpuzzle can do it for you and can also provide you with the data to inform tomorrow's lesson? And by using Edpuzzle's advanced features to embed questions, notes, and audio, your voice, into your videos, you can ensure that students will be fully engaged with the lesson instead of just passively watching it. That makes the learning your students do with technology at an online station just as valuable as the learning that happens offline with a teacher or with their peers. Creating your first online station using Edpuzzle is amazingly easy, but in case you're still a little bit hesitant, allow me to access my inner cheerleader and offer you some needed support. Firstly, take baby steps. Love her. It's Mora. Sorry, she's crazy. Love her. Okay, you don't learn to run before you can walk. So get good at the smaller features of Edpuzzle. And when you do, run with it and then try out the advanced features. Add some notes, embed some audio. Secondly, don't be tempted to reinvent the wheel. And what I mean by that is don't think you need to start your first video from scratch. There are like a gazillion pre-made videos in the Edpuzzle library made by happy sharers with whom you can connect. All you need to do is choose one video made by another educator and customize it for your students' different needs. And finally, did you know that it takes 21 consecutive days of doing something to get better at it? Okay, so maybe you're not quite ready to dive into Edpuzzle yet. Maybe you're not ready to make your first video, but give yourself maybe 15 to 20 minutes a day to get in there and play around with Edpuzzle. Your confidence and your skills will definitely increase. Go you. And of course, if you need any supportive coaching after today, I'm here for you. All you have to do is reach out. Thank you so much for spending this time with me and for putting up with my Schitt's Creek shenanigans. I hope you learned something valuable. I hope our paths cross again soon. And good luck with creating your own teacher bordered classroom with the help of Edpuzzle.